TaylorMade as a company was founded over 40 years ago on a single idea that a new material could revolutionize the way the game of golf is played. I don't think it's an exaggeration to say that we're again at this new point in time where a new material like carbon is going to revolutionize the game.
If you think about going from wood to steel, steel to titanium, titanium to composite, we're at that stage, but with the face of the driver.
This was the time, this was the next step. We can't take titanium any further.
To drive innovation means to drive performance into the future, and carbon was the material that was going to take us there.
I started developing Stealth for production in the fall of 2019.
I've worked on the Stealth phase for 5 years.
Well over 20 years now.
Since 2005.
I've been fortunate enough to work on it for the last 18.
For at least 9 years.
I've been working on this project since I've been with the company, almost 20 years.
The overarching technology is to try and get the face as light as possible.
This is the next step in terms of unlocking mass that we can use efficiently to create more ball speed for the golfer.
Really the heaviest single component on a golf club driver is the face.
Carbon's an interesting material because it's lighter, it's stronger than titanium, but it's really the formulation of it in the way that we've done it in the face that creates a better energy transfer. It's how light it is that allows us to kind of get that momentum transfer into the golf ball and ultimately give golfers more ball speed.
Thinking of a collision of two objects, the more mass you have in that object, the more impactful the collision is going to be. Think of a train hitting something versus a car hitting something. The train's going to have a lot more force. And so what we're actually doing with this carbon face is we're actually lightening the face so we can put more mass around it. We're changing it from a car to a train hitting the golf ball.
So carbon fiber comes on a roll about 1 meter wide, and across the width of the roll is tens of thousands of carbon fibers.
You can't just have a fiber on its own. It needs to be held in place with a epoxy matrix that holds it there. And when you do that, it's a very efficient, very high strength material. You need fibers going in multiple directions to be optimal.
So the nano texture on the face is a hypercritical portion of the driver, almost the size of a human hair in terms of the actual roughness. And when you look at the face really up close and touch it, you'll feel that texture. And that texture allows us to create the right launch and spin conditions, both in dry and wet, that carbon by itself wouldn't allow you to do.
There were definitely times where we thought, we don't know how to solve this. And the carbon fiber industry is less than 50 years old. And so it's evolving, monthly, weekly, maybe even daily in terms of the technological advancements. Initially solving the durability issue, that was the big one. We had a lot of challenges in terms of figuring out exactly what are the right materials, what's the right carbon, what's the right stiffness, what's the right strength. So that took 3 or 4 years, and eventually we got to that point where it's like, oh my God, it actually works, it survives on Canada, this could be a viable product. So we spent about a year trying to understand the physics between the impact of a golf ball and a driver face.
So there's been many challenges within creating Stealth, and one of the things that we said we were not going to compromise on is sound.
We know carbon has historically not sounded great in a golf club, so we worked specifically to make sound and feel a top priority with these.
So sound is feel to the golfer. When you hit it and you hear it, you're saying, hey, that feels a certain way, but a lot of times that's auditory.
We have a sound engineer here and basically a team of engineers trained in how to design for sound. But the key thing you need to get the sound up loud enough is you need to have that face active enough to generate the sound. Because we're right up at the USG limit on flexibility, no more, no less than tie, we are generating enough of that engine where that face gets going, and then the rest of the structure is designed to have the proper modes, because that's mostly where your sound comes from, your crown and your soul. And so those are vibrating at the right frequencies to give the sound target that we're going for. It is that kind of that counterintuitive thing. You're thinking, this is a carbon face, and then you hit it and you're like, that was crisp. That's how it should sound, and it's been very pleasing.
Carbon's a completely different beast. No one knows how to make a carbon driver face that performs and is durable like TaylorMade.
The moment this really came to life for me is when our final prototypes, basically when we got to production, not only did we know we had something before, but it went and it jumped to the level that even exceeded our expectations from a performance standpoint. And it was the performance that ultimately was the holy you-know-what moment.
This is the new starting line. Everyone else is still in the titanium race. We've started a new race.
The level to which the team nailed every detail on this, I would say, is almost unprecedented in my time at TaylorMade.
I've had the opportunity, because I've been with TaylorMade for 16 years, to work on a lot of different drivers, and this one is extra special because of the blood, sweat, and tears, and just the challenges over the years.
It's like the clown at the circus spinning all the plates on here and keeping them going. You can't drop any of the plates, whether it's sound, durability, speed, looks, all those things. I was watching the whole time. It's like, when's the plate going to drop? You know, we had some getting a little wobbly along the way, but we pulled it off.
20 years from now, looking back on it, I'll be most proud of the product for sure, but the teamwork that went into it. And having everybody pull the rope in the same direction is not an easy thing to do. But the way the team rallied around this and believed in it and worked long hours and persevered through a pandemic, bringing this to where it is today, it's been incredible.
And then just when you see the test results coming back, when you see the tour player response, and now you see them putting it into play, every time you see more and more of those signs of the success we were hoping for, it's pretty rewarding. I mean, anything in someone's career where you can work for 20 years, have some doubts whether you're ever going to even be able to launch it, and see it come to fruition at this level is incredible.
I can't think of an experience at TaylorMade that can top this, for sure. So I'm hugely proud of the team and the organizational support that the team has had. Like, the entire company feels like they're pulling behind this one, so it's incredible.